1045 The Team, your home for Mike and Mike in the morning. And we are lucky to get a couple minutes with one of those mics right now. The big guy, Golic, with us. Good afternoon. Thanks for staying up a little later and hanging out with us.
Oh, no problem at all. How we doing?
Oh, great, man. It's a rainy day in the Cap region, but at least it's not freezing,
That's exactly right.
Golic, we talk every day on this show. We are the home for the New York Jets. Ryan Fitzpatrick, is he going to get it done with the Jets, or are you going to have to listen to Greeny cry for 17 straight weeks?
There's part of me that, I'm kind of that stick the needle in the voodoo doll guy, so maybe that Greeny would have to complain for all this time. But then there's another part of me that doesn't want to have to deal with it every Monday. So I think he's going to end up signing back with the Jets. Listen, he rolled the dice. He tried to get the big deal some of the other guys were getting, and it's not going to happen. The market kind of spoke on him. So now it's up to him. He's a smart guy to decide, is $8 million, is $10 million, is $11 million, whatever it's going to be, is that enough? He didn't get that 13 to 15, maybe more that he was hoping for when he saw a guy like Brock Osweiler sign or a guy like Sam Bradford sign. It's just a matter, do you settle, and I use air quotations for that lower amount and play? And I think if he is going to play this year, I do believe it'll be for the Jets, yes.
Mike Golic on the horn with us. And Golic, you, of course, were an Eagle. What is going to go on with that quarterback situation? Does Bradford work his way out, or is he the starting quarterback?
Well, I think he's a starting quarterback. The bottom line, he can be as mad as he wants. He's going to show up if he wants to make his money. He can be mad and say, and listen, if in fact they said you're the guy and then they traded everything to go up number 2 and you get a guy at number 2, a quarterback, he's eventually going to be the guy. I get it. You could be a little upset at that, but you have to look at your situation the way it is. And the way it is right now is he's guaranteed $26 million for the next couple of years, got an $11 million signing bonus, and at some point, once he gets over, taking it personal, as I've always said, you can't take business personal. Don't take it personal and realize the best thing you can do is be the best quarterback that you can be, because it's probably going to be for another team. So if it's not going to be with the Eagles, then showcase yourself for other teams. Because I don't know if somebody's going to give up anything to trade for him and pick up, it's not a ton of money, but still, it's not like Bradford's been lighting it up where, you got a line of teams, banging down the phone line to try and get work a trade.
Golic joining us on 1045 The Team, Levack and Wolf. And Mike, when you look at these two big trades, I'm a draft junkie, so the fact that we've had two major moves already has put me in heaven. What do you think of the two trades so far?
Well, to me, the two quarterbacks, I like them. I would not have traded up to get them now, but it doesn't matter what I think. If both those teams, if the Rams and the Eagles think that those guys are franchise quarterbacks, then you give up what you have to give up, because you're not going to, you're we've seen a couple of examples, obviously in 2000, the Ravens with the defense, and last year, the quarterback play was not good in Denver, and they had a great defense. So, the Rams have a really good defense, the Eagles not so much. So I don't see either defense completely solely carrying either one of those teams to the title. So you need a quarterback. You need a really good to great quarterback. And if you feel you get one of those guys, then you make that move. Quarterback's a different position. You give up what you have to. Me personally, I think they're good quarterbacks. Maybe they'll turn into great quarterbacks. I don't know, but I would not have given up all of that for these guys.
Now, when we talk about football, of course, we can't not talk about deflated footballs anymore because the 4-game suspension is there. Does this open up the AFC East to the other teams, or is it still the Patriots?
No, I think it's still the Patriots. They find such a way to morph into what they need to be. Now, does that mean if Jimmy Garoppolo has to start, he goes 4-0? I don't know about that, but I also don't see him starting out 0-4 or 1-3. What is it, Carolina? Arizona, and then they obviously have two division games as well in there with Buffalo and Miami, and then throw the Texans in the middle of that. I would think probably 2-2 would be the worst that they would do, and then if in fact this suspension holds up, and then I think Brady would come back and they'd still win the division. I don't see this knocking them out of contention for anything.
I got to be greedy for a second. I am a long-suffering Oakland Raiders fan. Do you think this is the year I stop suffering?
Love what Oakland's doing. Love it. Listen, with not now, again, we're not sure of the quarterback situation in Denver, but the bottom line is the quarterback situation last year was bad. It was bad quarterback play between Peyton Manning and Brock Osweiler, and they still won the Super Bowl. So you have right now, Mark Sanchez, whether it's going to be him or not, you just want a quarterback that hopefully isn't going to turn the ball over like they did last year. So they still have the potential. Obviously, the Chiefs, I think, are really good defensively as well. San Diego, I mean, I don't have a ton of faith in them. I love the Raiders. I think the arrow is absolutely up on them, with especially, with Carr, quarterback, Mack on defense. They're setting up at key positions like wide receiver, quarterback, pass rusher, and the way I think they have one of the best O-lines in the game, big, and that's the way they block, kind of big and nasty. So I like the direction they're going a lot.
Mike Golic from Mike and Mike. You can hear him every weekday right here on 104.5 The Team. The NBA playoffs have taken some serious turns in the last couple of days. If you got to pick right now, who would be your favorites to match up in the finals?
Well, I mean, I picked from the beginning of the year, before any of this went on, before the record season that Golden State had, I picked San Antonio to win the title. So I'm not changing from that. I know there had been injuries that would really help San Antonio's cause, depending on how Steph Curry comes back from his MCL, but I still think it's San Antonio and Cleveland in the finals, with San Antonio winning. So what my pick was at the beginning of the season has not changed. Certainly the landscape has changed with Steph Curry's injury and when he can get back, and with the Clippers of what they were potentially going to try and do. Now, if it looks like losing Chris Paul, we'll await this next X-ray and see what they have to do surgically to the hand. But even after all of this, the injuries and such, my two teams, I'm staying with them, San Antonio and Cleveland, with San Antonio winning the title.
See, I was hoping for Cleveland for you.
Listen, I would love to see it. I mean, with my heart, I would take Cleveland any day of the week. I would, but I think San Antonio with Kawhi Leonard, who is just fantastic defensive player of the year again. They just have so much depth and great team play. I just think that at the end of the day, they'll frustrate Cleveland and win. But would I love to see Cleveland win? My God, absolutely. Long-suffering Cleveland fan of any sport looking for any championship, and without a doubt, the best chance in Cleveland is going to be the Cavaliers.
Since my Knicks are out of it, I think the greatest experience for the NBA Finals would be able to go watch a game with you and Greeny and maybe have Cleveland win that game. How could I get such a wonderful thing done?
Nice segue. Well done. We have a contest for the next 4 weeks. We pick a winner each week. So that means we'll have 4 winners, and they get to bring a guest. So 8 people are going to go on this trip with us, and all you have to do is listen. We'll give a word of the day 2 times a day. We're even going to tell you what time we give you the word. And when you get the word, there's 3 different ways you can enter, and you can do it all 3 ways. You can call 855-ESPN-WIN. You can click on mikes@thefinals.com, or you can text to 777-000. Like I said, do all 3. You could enter 3 different ways. And then if your name is picked, we have a weekly winner, week 1 through 4. And then those 4 winners plus their guests are going to get, a 3-day, 2-night trip included to whatever city we're going to go to, behind-the-scene production tour, great seats at our show, seats to the game, swag bags, be treated like a king and queen. It's going to be a fantastic trip.
Awesome. Mike and Mike every morning right here on 104.5 The Team. Listen for that word. And how great would it be to watch LeBron and the boys win a game right next to the big fella? I think that would be amazing.
Love that, especially eating some great concession food.
Can I enter? I mean, maybe use a fake name?
Sure. You can't win, but you can enter.
Oh. Golic, we appreciate your time, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you got it. See you.